We have major problems. Can I just say that? We have major problems in the church right now, and I do not have time to even make this video because when the economy tanks like it is right now, I get super busy. Because people are suing people and people are getting divorced and all kinds of stuff. And so I don't even have time for this. But I cannot, my workday was just rudely interrupted via text message. And I'm just going to have to read it because this is, I cannot even believe what I'm seeing. I mean, I can, but not really. So here I am, sitting here, going about my workday, and my aunt sends me a picture of this Celtic prayer circle. And she says, look at this. And so this could go one of two ways. Like, look at this because you want me to flip out, or look at this because, so I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to be looking at. And I said, looks pagan, because it is pagan. She says, no, it's Catholic at the Mercy Center. So now I can feel myself, my heart start beating fast and my temper start. So I have to calm myself down. And I said, I don't know. It's not for me personally. I stay away from things like Sun King. Wait, just wait. Um, I'm just sensitive to demons. Sadly, many Catholics have no idea what they're doing. Looks like it started off genuinely Catholic and has since gone downhill. Very dangerous. And so let's just God help me. God help me get through this. Let's just do this. We're gonna go through the whole thing. What did this start out as? Mercy by the Sea and the Sisters of Mercy, and what has it become? The history of Mercy by the Sea. That's not what I wanted. The Sisters of Mercy. Mercy by the Sea's roots stretch back to Ireland when a 53-year-old passionate and determined Irish woman, Catherine Macaulay, established a home for poor women and children. Like many today, she began with an idea and a commitment to do the right thing by people who did not have a voice. So far, this is great. Sounds totally Catholic to me. In the 19th century, this was neither easy nor secure for a Catholic woman with a righteous cause in a country dominated by Protestants and men. Catherine never intended to become a nun or start an order, but difficult circumstances led her to ask church officials for support. In doing this, she not only became a sister, but founded a religious community. Catherine died on November 11th, 1841, and on April 9th, 1990, Pope John Paul II declared Catherine Macaulay venerable in recognition of her holy life, her love of God, and her merciful work among the poor. This is a major step toward naming her a saint, and then you can visit for more information on her beatification. Today, there are more than 2,900 Sisters of Mercy of the Americas who continue Catherine's mission of serving the needs of the poor in North and South Central America, the Caribbean, Guam, and the Philippines. Building on Catherick's enduring example of service and hospitality, Mercy by the Sea is a retreat and conference center that supports individuals' exploration of a new way of being and practices that deepen one's relationship with self, others, and all of creation. And so here's where we start going off the tracks, right in this little section. So apparently this is somehow associated with the Sisters of Mercy, but it's obviously not a convent or anything like that. It's a retreat and conference center. Okay, so we have to make that distinction because what you're about to see is going to be so alarming to you that this is now passing off as Catholicism, that we have to understand this is not a convent. So let's just keep that in the forefront of our minds so we don't go off the rails here like I'm about to. So let me calm down. Apparently they have spiritual direction by a PhD. So I don't know who this lady is. But they claim it's this is so dangerous. Lord have mercy on me. Let me get through this without flipping out. Please, God help me. Okay, so they offer spiritual direction to grow a personal relationship with your God. Your God, not the God, your God. Whatever your God is, that's what you can go get spiritual direction on. And how do you do that? Well, of course, by nature. So let's get to that. Okay. I don't even know. I don't even know if I should start with the Celtic prayer circle. Let's start with the School of the Earth and the Soul. So one of the retreats offered is the School of Earth and Soul, and it is based on Celtic wisdom. Celtic Wisdom 1, Sacred Soul, Reawakening. So basically, we're going to undo what Jesus did, and we're going to revert back to paganism. So let me, I know I say this all the time, and I have to stop yelling. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should cover this first. The other one makes me very angry. This makes me angry, but not as angry as the other one. So they acknowledge. So we invite you to join us as we continue to celebrate the journey through all Celtic seasons. And what they say is that in the Celtic tradition, the changing seasons were considered thin places, where the veil between heaven and earth lifted. Okay, that's good all and fine for the pagans who didn't know Christ because Christ didn't come into the world. So as Catholics, we now are supposed to know that the veil is now lifted at Mass, not with the seasons or the Samhain. We have Sam. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Yule, whatever, Litha, Mabon, and so it's nature worship. Okay, so we're back to nature worship, and I'm infuriated. I'm. This is my godmother, by the way. So yeah, it's a miracle that I am even in the church. Okay. In such thin places, the Celts experience a deep sense of God's presence, especially through awareness of and alignment with the natural world. As a community, we seek to cultivate a sense of God by celebrating each season's special energy through prayer, reflection, chant, ritual, poetry, and music, honoring the sacred in all of creation. Now, I will be the first one to say that I love God's creation. I love hiking. I love going to the beach. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I think you can grow closer to God by spending time in His creation, and you can learn about God by spending time in His creation. But these people take it to a whole nother level. They forget that Jesus came here. And that's how the primary means that we're supposed to know God. He died on the cross so that we could know God. Okay, so I don't, it makes me crazy. It makes me crazy that I get text messages like this in the middle of a workday. It makes me crazy. The Celtic Wheel of the Year, which begins in October, offers an inspirational model and context in which to place the reality of our joys and sorrows within nature's rhythms, the continuing birth, death, and resurrection of life. And so, of course, they have their reflections. Let's look at the one for Mabon. Celtic Mabon, the autumn equal. It's paganism. Guys, that's all it is. Paganism, and apparently masquerading as Catholicism somehow. But look at this. The harvest song, right? The Sun King, that's what I was referring to in the text message. And I know I ticked her off. She's not going to talk to me now, but it is what it is. The Sun King embraces the mother in her fullness, the fruits of a labor she now bears. So, first of all, I have a mother and her name is Mary. Okay, so that's my mother. I have a king who is an S-O-N. His name is Jesus. Dance and celebration for the harvest time is here. Feast and mirth are ours to share. Now is the time to bring magic to fruition? What? How is the Sisters of Mercy name going to be side by side with this? I'm gonna have to write to them. I'm gonna have to do something, to be quite honest, okay? Because I can't even read it. It makes me disgusted. But look at this. Tai Chi by the Sea, the School of Earth and Soul. I'll get to that in a minute. But look at this. Board of Trustees, the Reverend George Cordier. He's a priest for the Archdiocese of Hartford and was ordained 36 years ago. Well, I'm going to have to email you. He is a pastor of the newly merged St. Josephine Bakita Parish, a union of St. James Church and St. Elizabeth Seton in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. So I'm obviously going to have to try to find a way to reach out to him. This is unacceptable. This can't go on. This has to stop. I'm gonna have to write a letter. I'm gonna write a letter to the Archdiocese of Hartford. I don't know what else to say about it. It's where I was baptized. My baptismal records are in. Now it's Saint Pio Petrolacina Church, but it was Saint Vincent de Paul in East Haven, Connecticut. I will be happy to write as a concerned member of the Archdiocese of Hartford. So now that I've calmed down, the School of Earth and Soul with John Philip Newell. Celtic Wisdom, Sacred Earth. I'm so angry. The school follows a 3-year cycle of teaching and spiritual practices as follows, and participants may join at any stage. And they even, like, talk about Saint Bridget. Like, I don't even think we're talking about the same saint, but they're going to incorporate that. I'm sure they'll incorporate. I don't even know. This is where Hildegard gets all skewed too. Like, with people like this. It makes me so angry. Celtic to Sacred Earth. Reawakening to the sacredness of the earth and every creature through the teachings of Eurogena and Carmina and John Murr. I don't know. Reawakening to the sacredness of the human imagination. It's an annual retreat, and basically you can. Did I read this already? Its purpose is to awaken awareness of the sacred in all things. I can't even imagine what men's spirituality programs are. Our Sunrise group. Yeah, here you go. Where do men go to talk about those aspects of their lives that really matter? Their values, purpose in life, relationships, their spirituality. In an atmosphere of trust, acceptance, confidentiality, and prayer, small groups of men meet on a biweekly basis to provide the opportunity and support for each other. It's open to men of all faiths. And so here you see what is that called? I don't even know. Synergism, syncretism, whatever that heresy is. Catholic, if you're a Catholic man, you can absolutely have friends that are not Catholic men, but you cannot participate in spiritual practices with non-Catholic men. Sorry, not allowed. If they want to, unless they want to participate in your spiritual practices. So if they want to come to Mass with you, if you're bringing them to Mass, as long as they're not receiving the Eucharist, that's A-okay. But you cannot go down to their level. Okay? No. So anyway, this is very alarming. I guess I just wanted to vent. I wanted to point this out and scream at my computer, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, it's just really, it's crazy. It's really insane. Oh, here's the Saint Bridget one. They call her an archetype of the healer. Like, I don't even think we're talking about the same. I guess she's a saint. She's got a church. Are we talking about the same Saint Bridget? Like, how is this even happening? Imbolc marks a time when the earth begins to awaken, everything begins to grow, and we move toward the light half of the year. The Celtic calendar celebrates the beginning of spring. Imbolc on February 1st, and the feast of St. Bridget of Kildare, who is associated with healing, peace, and a great concern. So they're trying to make St. Bridget into a pagan, is what I'm reading. Saint Bridget, you are a woman of peace. You brought harmony where there was. Isn't she the patron saint of Ireland? Yeah, that's who she is. They're trying to make her pagan again. No, Saint Patrick came to drive the snakes out of Ireland, which means we already overcame this. Remember? Remember that? He had to go and convert all of Ireland after he was taken a slave by the pagans. Remember? Are we going to forget all that? We're just going to act like that didn't exist, and we're just going to act like pagans are more wise than St. Patrick? Like, what are you talking about? You brought light to the darkness. You brought hope to the downcast. May the mantle of your peace cover those who are troubled and anxious, and may peace firmly rooted in our hearts and in our world inspire us to act justly and to reverence all God has made. Bridget, you are a voice for the wounded and the weary. Strengthen what is weak within us. Calm us into a quietness that heals and listens. May we grow each day into greater wholeness in mind, body, and spirit. The archetype of healer, like, what does that even mean? Apparently, They're going to quote Ave Maria Preston here. Wow. Exerted and adapted from Illuminating the Way, Embracing the Wisdom of Monks and Mystics by Christine Walters, painter. The healer is the one who helps us to overcome inner divisions of body, mind, and soul. There's still no talk about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the healer. Sure, we can reach out to saints. I have not seen the word Jesus on this website one time. Not one time. Or Mary. Oh, this makes me so angry. This doesn't even look right. Like, that should even be prayer to Saint. I should probably type in Catholic prayer because God only knows now what I'm going to come up with. Bridget of Ireland. Yeah, I guess that is one of the prayers. I don't even know if dailyprayers.org. Let's see. She's the patron saint of infants, Ireland, and children with unmarried parents. She renounced her beauty, praying to become ugly. Yep, that is her prayer. Prayer to Saint Bridget. Okay, fine. However, putting it Saint Bridget and like I can't. This is I don't. You already know. I don't have to explain it to anyone on here. What's so wrong about this? What's so wrong with? I mean, there's nothing wrong with reflecting on our saints, reflecting about the saints on their feast days. But this is totally taken out of context to reflect on the saints during nature worship. And totally not even talking about what made her holy either. So that's a problem. So anyway, we got major problems here at Mercy by the Sea Retreat and Conference Center. And I'm probably going to have to, I feel terrible. Because I think she's a big gardener. So she volunteers here and helps in their gardens. But I don't know what to say. Like, you're asking me, of all people, what I think of a pagan prayer circle? Like, what do you think I'm going to say? Like, what? I don't know. I'm going to have to do something. What I'm going to have to do is reach out to that priest and write him a nice letter. So I'll keep you posted. As soon as I have time, I have no time for anything right now. This is just very concerning. I'm very concerned. I'm extraordinarily concerned. And I know it sounds like I'm being cruel and mean and closed-minded, but I assure you I am not. This is exactly what is destroying the church. Patchy mama, this is the problem. This is passing. What are you going to go do? Get spiritual direction on how to worship the seasons? Like, this is horrible. This is horrible. There's nothing on overcoming self. It's all peace and harmony. I can't handle it. All right, I'm out. Joan of Arc Media out.